We are so excited to have you on today because we love a good scary movie.
Yes,
It's getting closer to Halloween. We're getting there,
yes.
and this kind of kicks it off, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you saw it. It's nuts. It's a very crazy film.
Yeah, it's really nuts. And it's funny too because I'm trying to think of how to describe it to people without ruining it, right?
Right. Right. Well,
And
I mean, I think it's up there, it's kind of an Exorcist, Hereditary, you know. Obviously it's not a slasher, you know. I think it's I think there's the spiritual demon kind of, what paranormal activity type. And then I think there's like the big slasher guys with, knives and axes and things like that. And I would say, it's more of a paranormal demon story, but unlike ones we've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, I mean this one is pretty dark and really creepy. Do you ever have any sort of hesitation to go into something really dark? I mean,
Well,
of course,
no,
you've been a part of a bunch of horror things.
I don't think so. Only because I feel like I saw Two Witches, and I was a fan. And Rebecca Kennedy worked with me on my movie Crust that I wrote and directed and
Yeah.
produced, and she was such a powerhouse, and we had the same ideals that we formed. I formed a production company with my wife, and she formed one with her husband, and we started producing together. And part of that was just helping each other out, recommending it each other. And when Pierre and Max said, "Oh, we need, we would love Sean to do this thing for us," she recommended me. I went in and did my thing in like 2 hours, so much so that Paul, like, I literally forgot I was in it. I forgot I was in it. Like she'd go, "Oh, Traumatic is coming out," and I'd say, and I'd say, "Oh, I'm so excited for you." She goes, "Sean, you're in it. Don't forget you're in
No,
it." Oh, that's
oh
right.
no.
Because when you shoot that efficiently, uh, you know, you don't remember that stuff as much
Yeah.
when you're doing tens of millions of other things. But the odd thing was when you do a lot of those, they don't really turn out great. And I've kind of backed off of doing those, but I had already seen Two Witches, and I
Mhm.
saw, Rebecca and I'd do business. So she'd zoom me with all the makeup, and I'd be like, she's like, "I got 15 minutes. Let's talk about this, script or whatever." It was just so funny. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, and then of course, you've no stranger to horror movies, and
Right.
people love say when they see you, what do they want to talk about the most? The people on the stairs, or what is
It
it?
depends on, I have a horror section. I have a Disney Channel fan
Yeah.
group. I have a Twister fan group. I have, older ladies soap opera fan group. Like, I'll know what you want to talk about when I look at you. A
Yeah.
guy with a bunch of tats on his face and a biker thing, I'm gonna go, "Oh, he's gonna talk to me about horror." you know?
Yep.
And so mostly, Twister and People Under the Stairs, are my big
Yeah,
ones
exactly.
that people know me from.
Although the soap opera fans are their
Yeah,
own special people,
their
right?
own. Yeah, they're very, and I don't get a lot of them, but I
Yeah.
definitely know who they are. And then Never Been Kissed. There's like women from
Yeah.
30 to 50 that just love that movie. But I can always tell most of the time
Yeah.
what you know me from.
Yeah. Hey, what a cool thing. And the thing is like when people look up to what you do and they say, see, I want to do that. I want to tell great stories and be in a bunch of cool things. So much harder than you can imagine. So what advice would you give people?
Well, this day and age, it's the only advice that the days of training, getting really good
Mhm.
as an actor, getting an agent, and waiting for the phone to ring, those days are over. That's exactly why Rebecca and her husband and me and my wife formed our two production companies, because you have to make your own stuff. That just, or at least be a hyphenate, meaning you're a writer actor or a director actor or a producer actor. Just being an actor isn't enough anymore. That it's like saying, "I would love to make 8-track tapes." There's no point in it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. You just have to. And I got confirmed that Jason Alexander did a video, and he goes, "You need to find your people. You need to get your writers, and you go. Sam Raimi says, get your friends, shoot, edit it, put it out there, then do it again, then do it again." I mean, you have to be creative, because in the 90s when I came up, I was in the Groundlings. I had so many great stories I wish I could have told, but just getting footage actual film was $30,000 for a 10-minute short. So, it was impossible, and those don't make any returns. So now there is no excuse not to make your own stuff. And I was blessed. I was trained in the groundlings with writing, right? I started writing right away, and that's not new. I mean, Tina Fey, everybody on Saturday Night Live, they're all writers. Uh, Most of these, it's just the new wave is you have to become a hyphenate and you need to create your own stuff. There's just no excuse. You can put it on YouTube, TikTok. You just keep trying and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you'll like this one. So my co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys. Caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. And this is Hail Mary's 50th anniversary, by the way. And,
Wow,
we
congrats.
love to ask people their Hail Mary moment, the moment in your life or career you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you?
I think it honestly was when I did this movie we just shot called Swipe, that me and
Yeah.
Rebecca did. It's about a woman, that's Rebecca, a woman saving her brother from a house of scary women who torture men when they get catfished on swiping online. I had done my movie Crust. It was like a love fest. I had my friends. I had in one location, very small, and then I went to this one, which was extremely ambitious anyway. We had tough conditions overnight. I foolishly had a big part in it, so I was acting, but it was triple the scale. And there was one day that I literally didn't think I could get out of bed because so many things had gone wrong. But we were fighting, and I turned everything around and finished the movie strong. While many Hollywood movies were shutting down, like ones with Bryan Cranston and other, they didn't make it, and we made it. Me, Rebecca, and our spouses, we made it through, and it's a really cool movie. So I really felt that was kind of like, I my Hail Mary was, can I even get through this? you know
Yeah.
and I thought, God, you're such a weakling. And then you watch Jaws 50th anniversary, the date making of. Spielberg does not like that. He doesn't talk about it fondly at all. He said it was a nightmare. And I felt,
Hmm.
okay. I said, okay.
Yeah.
But that's what's so impressive about Traumatica is, Pierre and Max, they just take their time, pull the pieces together, and the way they spend more time on post and distribution and marketing, which is the most important part. Most people like spend it on the shooting, and then they have no budget to do really good editing. And so that's why it was
Hmm.
such a pleasure to be a part of it.
I love it. And so what do you keep in mind, that keeps you on the right path always? Because it's a crazy business, but you're doing so well, and
Well, I
you're
mean,
navigating through it all and all the changes.
yeah. Well, well is relative, right? So when you start over, so I'm starting over. I'm starting over
Yeah.
as a director and as a producer. So just like when I
Mhm.
started as an actor, you have to downsize. You're not gaining the money. It takes a while. Like we all study, we pay for our headshots, we pay for our tapes. That's what we did as actors. And I'm learning the same lessons now. Oh, that sound guy. This sound isn't good. We have to fix it. Well, the budget's. Where do we get this money? And so it's starting over kind of. But I really feel the thing that keeps me going is this new team, is the love of my life,
Yeah.
and my best couple friends, Brandon and Rebecca Kennedy. Brandon Davis and Rebecca Kennedy.
Yeah.
We really, like, after that shoot in the winter, we all should have never spoke to each other again, but it just brought us closer. So it's really
Yeah.
lucky to have this team, and we have amazing
I love that.
investors
Well,
that love us, so
yeah.
we're lucky.
That's wonderful. Well, last thing, this movie is so cool, and so there's so much going on here besides just what you're seeing. So what is it that you're hoping that people will think about this, because there's a lot going on here besides just the horror on the screen, right?
Well, I just think I think the main thing is that independent movies are where most of our fun creativity is happening. We're not
Hmm.
getting retreads and retreads or remakes or reboots, or from the world of, it's
Yeah.
like the fresh ideas are coming from people like Pierre and Max, and
Hmm.
they are proving it right now with the interest that they're doing in Traumatica. And they're just two guys who just knew how to hustle. And so the respect for independent filmmaking, I think, is going to start poking through. As we've seen, our last 2 Academy Award winners were independent films.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, we're going to tell everyone to support this one and
Yeah,
check
man.
it out because it's so cool. It's so creepy. And really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for the great answers and congrats on everything. Look forward to talking again soon.
All right.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Paul.
okay, thank you.